In this training video, I'd like to discuss how you as a teacher can help track the progress of your individual students' readings throughout the semester. They need to read, in this example, Joseph Smith History and Doctrine and Covenants, 2 Doctrine and Covenants section 76 in order to get credit for the first semester. I have logged into WISE here and I've gone to reading. And once you go to this page, if you have nothing listed here, that means that your readings have not been set up. I have a separate video on how to set up the individual readings. I have made a custom list of 16 different readings, so the whole reading cut up into 16 different pieces, closely to the equivalent number of weeks in the first semester, so that each week students can kind of know where they should be at that way. Now, if you can go ahead and add your own default readings, but this will make over 75 different boxes for you or your students to check off to mark their readings for the semester. And so to make life easier on me as a teacher and them as a student, as we weekly check in with reading, I've put in these 16 here. So you can hit pause, take a snapshot of this, and you can make your similar. You can look in the comments of this video for a link on how to put these into these custom readings into WISE. Now, take a look at this, and what you're looking at here is a little table that I've made that is on a grade card that my students have with them. And every Friday, we pull them out and we take a look at where they should be. And you can read at the top here, it says, mark reading progress weekly here on this, and in the LDS Seminaries and Institutes app or my seminary. I want my students to mark their progress, especially on the app or at my seminary, so it's automatically recorded here in WISE. So each week, I take a break, I make sure it's marked here on their grade card, and then I ask them to log in, and it took us a while to get everybody's login working, but they're doing okay at it. But once they start marking those things there, I don't have to mark those things for them, but they can track their own. Now, parents, they can log in to both the LDS Seminaries and Institutes app and my seminary to track their students' progress. One thing also you'll notice in this particular example I've used is that about every Sunday, those dates that you see on the card or every Sunday, is about where they should be at to stay on track to read the first half of the Doctrine and Covenants reading assignment before the end of the semester. So that's kind of a way to help pace themselves through that. Let's go ahead and look at how you as a teacher, if your students don't mark them off, or if you were to have them report to you on each Friday, they could write down what section they're on. You could go in and mark that reading for them. And how do you do that? I'm going to go ahead and click on Mark Reading right here. Again, sub-tab of Reading, Mark Reading. And this will bring up a list of your students. And as you can see, some of my students, all but one of them, have logged in at least one point and marked off their reading, and hopefully they're marking on their grade card. I need to get on them a little bit more. So if you need to mark reading for them, you could go ahead and you can click as to wherever they're at. Now the hard part about this is I have to look over here to see where that's at. So I can see number 5 here coincides with Doctrine and Covenants 17 through 19. So I've got to kind of know what those readings are and be able to see them to mark them off for them. Now I'm going to go ahead and uncheck those. If you want to mark all of them at once, you can click Mark All right there, and that will finish them out for the rest of the semester. And at the end of the semester, for those students that haven't marked it off and they have completed, you can just click that, and it will automatically put into the transcript for each student that they have read those things. So this is how on WISE you can mark the reading for the students, or you can also help them mark it through the LDS Seminaries and Institutes app, and I'll show you how you can check on their reading progress on the app. So I'm logged into my individual class here. I'm going to touch on readings there, and what you can see here is that this is showing me the list of all of the students. And then in this top line it says Intro to the Doctrine and Covenants. So I can click on that little arrow and I can change between the 16 readings that I have. And I can see where they're at. So it's a little bit harder for me to see the entire semester here. I can only see one reading at a time. But I can also mark them off by marking them all done, or mark all the readings not done, etc. there by clicking on those 3 buttons in the top right hand corner. But that's how on the app I can check on their reading progress. Now, if I wanted to check on an individual student's reading record, I could go ahead and touch on their name, and then it would show me which ones they have marked off or not under the readings in their individual account.